Faces of Death 2026 is in uh, theaters right now, and it comes in at a shocking 67% by critics, 66 by the audience. So we're fairly even here with our thoughts of it. My initial impressions of it out of the theater was that it's a good performance by Daka Montgomery. However, this is a type of horror movie that we've seen before, and it's bogged down by some incredibly bad acting. It tells the tale of a woman employed as a website content moderator who comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film, and that film just happens to be Faces of Death. Now, just a little background here. The Faces of Death franchise was in 1978 with 4 films, and it was presented in such a way that it was real deaths caught on film, snuff films, if you will. And then it came out that it was all fake. And what's going on here in this movie is that somebody's just kind of emulating the deaths that we saw in those videos, and it's a serial killer, right? Played by Daka Montgomery there, and it's standard fare. He puts on a mask, he traps people, and puts them in the traps that we see from the movies, and it's a pretty straightforward. I want to say slasher, but it's really kind of not. It's kind of like a detective online sleuth type movie where the main character there, Barbie Ferreira, is trying to figure out, are these real videos or are they fake? And they try to infuse some drama in here, but when you watch this movie, the acting is so abominable. Abominable. It's atrocious. It's got script issues, and I don't know if it's from the director, if it's the director's fault or the script, because Dr. Montgomery puts on a good performance here as a bad guy, as a villain. That was cool to see. But this Daniel Goldhaber, who directs, uh, if we look at his resume, he's directed, well, a whole bunch of stuff that you haven't seen. And I think it kind of shows in this. I don't want to fault Barbie Ferreira here because it's just there's I like the setup of her being like this moderator on this supposed to be like YouTube kind of thing, right? Is it real? Is it fake? And that's a good premise, but it's just drawn out. We know what's going to happen within the first 5 minutes, so why are we spending 40 minutes trying to establish the characters? Just get on with it already. And then when it gets on with it, it just becomes so hokey. By the end of it, the last act, you're like, okay, you're free, but let's stop on the way out and take some pictures. And it's like, what? No, just get out of there. And it's just like, it goes through some hair pulling stuff at the end where it just totally obliterates all of the positive things that you could say about this. And it makes it a subpar film, a subpar. So I'm not anywhere close to what the audience and critics are saying about this 67%, 66. I feel like my score for this is going to probably end up somewhere around, well, 4.5 because acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points, and it's middle of the road. I can even knock down the acting here because some of the supporting characters here, the roommate, is not all that good. It's really amateur theater, high school theater kind of acting. It's terrible. It's atrocious. Um, Docker is the only saving grace here. Directing, actually, I probably could knock down. In fact, I am. My vitriol towards the execution of this is going to be only for the technical aspects and the story. It's run of the mill, good premise, cinematography, score, also competent, but uh, you know, whatever. Watchability factor. You can see this on a streaming. You don't need to go to the theater for this. This is not a scary movie. 4 out of 10 for Faces of Death. That's about where I think I would have to put it. It's just not that good. Let's go back to the tomato meter here and see if we can round up what the critics and audiences are saying here. RogerEbert.com. It becomes a heady swirl of themes and ideas, the moderator of the online age fighting back against what this dark time has birthed. Okay, I don't know, I guess. Talking about like the social media aspect of it. But point 0.5 out of 5, Faces of Death is dull and thoughtless. Its attempt to smash influencer culture into voyeurism feels artificial. Hmm. Well, they definitely are trying to capitalize on that aspect of like influencer. Look at me. I'm the one that's dancing in front of the camera, and then I'm making fun of things, and eventually the murderer comes and grabs her, and like they're trying. Like as I said, there's a premise here. They're really trying to make it work. It just doesn't land in its execution. Um, is it by far one of the worst films I've seen this year? No, but it's got to be up there with one of the worst. So Andy says, I didn't do the due diligence in researching what this movie actually was. I was expecting a re-release. No, no, no. So yeah, we could have prefaced the review with that. It's not a re-release or anything like that. There's an actual narrative here. The original Faces of Death, and I saw all four of them because I worked in a video store and my boss had them in. Um, was just kind of like cuts, and there was like a narrator there that was trying to sell it to you. And the fact that there was a narrator there that was trying to sell it to you, kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos kind of thing, should have been a big clue that yeah, it's dramatized, especially when you get to the part where there's a big leech that sucks onto somebody's. Oh, yeah, it's just, it gets that ridiculous. Anyway, Jake liked it. Pretty good. Had a grimy 80s throwback vibe. That's a compliment. Is it though? Is it? Let's go over to some notable critics. Jeremy Johns feels like the basic horror movie that you've seen before. Yeah, it's as I said, it's streaming at best, and I struggle. I can't because I was nearly walking out of the theater for this one. I don't fault Barbie Ferreira for trying here. It was a bold choice casting wise that I respect, but I don't think that she carried this as the way that you wanted it to be, because there's some really big asks of the character at the end where you're just like, no, just run away. What are you doing? And it's just, she doesn't execute that well because the script is just that ludicrous. So, what do you guys think? 4 out of 10 for Phases of Death. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. If you want to see another type of review like this, we are about to review the drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson right here on Mirror Domains.